Good morning. Welcome to the most underrated show on YouTube. Jobs numbers, wins and losses. Here we go. All right, good morning. Good morning. All right, so futures down a touch, even though the jobless claims came in. I do have something to say about that. I want to look at what's trending for the day. Of course, AMC, Bed Bath & Beyond, and Workhorse. So I'm assuming that Workhorse has, they're back, baby. They have tons of vehicles made. They probably have a new contract with United States Postal Service. They were up 20% yesterday, 25% this morning. Oh, they're just meme stocks. Oh, weird. Very weird. I thought they had something. I really did. I was going to say go buy Workhorse and be in it for a long-term investment, but look at it on a 5-minute chart, but I guess not. I guess we're not going to look at Workhorse this morning. Thought they had something. All right, let's see here. Jobs numbers came out. Jobless claims numbers came out, I should say. Yeah, smash that like button for me, and we will get going. Okay, jobless claims. Initial filings came in, and they were under 400,000 for the first time. Now, I'm not getting too excited about this. That's all I have to say. Yes, John, that was sarcasm. All right, initial jobless claims came in. It was expected at 887,000 jobless claims. It came in at 385. So, progress. Continuing claims are still higher than normal, which is not good. And if you look, we look at this little chart here. Now, it's great that we're seeing jobless claims diving like they are, but the unemployment is not diving, and we saw that with the last jobs report. So tomorrow is going to be the payroll. The payroll number, non-farm payrolls is going to come out. So that is basically, and the unemployment number is going to come out. So let's see what that's going to come down to. That is the number that I'm talking about, because if you look at the month of April, we had jobs numbers. I'm getting jobs numbers and jobless claims. Jobless claims come out lower and lower and lower, and it was supposed to be 1 million jobs created in the month of April, and it came in at 266,000. So let's see. This is the part of the story that got me thinking we need to see what the jobs number and unemployment number is tomorrow. The number of Americans claiming benefits through the federal pandemic unemployment assistance and pandemic emergency unemployment compensation programs has been especially high. So that number hasn't moved. And it's only been trickling down a little bit. So these are the numbers that I'm more focused on to say maybe the jobs really are not coming back as much as they should. Now, with that being said, there are those states that did the federal, that cut off the federal unemployment benefits. So these states represent about 22% of those collecting federal benefits. A lot of them are ending in June and July. So that's going to be about 2.5 million people that are not getting that extra $300 to $600 a month, depending on what state you're in, from the federal government. So if we don't get big jobs numbers in the month of April, I bet June and July it's going to spike a little bit more. But regardless of that, the way that I look at things and the way that I break down stories and news and this and that, I don't just look at the headline number and say, this is going to be great, jobs numbers are 100% coming down. The unemployment is 100% coming down. I look at it and dive a little bit deeper and look for these little context clues that are going to say, maybe we need to taper back a little bit and see, let's be realistic about this. Just because you're getting these other numbers like this, the number of people claiming benefits through this program, it's not really trickling down. So what does that mean? That's the thing. So that's just how I analyze stories. I think that's a pretty good way to do it. Things make a lot of sense to me, I guess. All right. 5 things to know. I never read these things, but it was pretty funny. So let's see what we got here. The Fed is people are eyeing what what's going to happen with that employment number tomorrow, of course, because people want to know what the Fed is going to do and what direction they're going to go. There have been a lot of the Fed presidents around the country that have come out and said that we are going to start trimming the bonds. We're going to start pulling back and not putting as much money into bonds. They've been putting $120 billion into bonds and mortgage-backed securities. They've said that they're going to start trimming that back. Of course, they're meeting next month to determine what they're going to do with the interest rates. I can personally see that coming I do think that if we get a good jobs number, I personally don't think we're going to get a very good jobs number tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be a million plus. Now, June and July, maybe it could be a million plus. That's, I think, when we're going to start getting. I just smashed my own like button, so you guys should smash the like button. That's when we are going to be getting a bump in jobs numbers, in my opinion, because with those 2.5 million people are going to go back to work, kind of be forced back to go back to work. And I think we're going to get a little bit trickle up in interest rates sooner than they want to admit. So that's that for jobs. Okay, AMC. So this AMC thing, guys, if you're invested in this AMC thing and like this bozo, Jim Cramer, I love Jim Cramer, but good Lord in heaven. Jim Cramer says that he thinks that AMC is now well into the overvalued territory. Bro, I mean, AMC was on the verge of bankruptcy just a couple of months ago. They're getting squeezed. They just diluted themselves more. They're going to issue another 11.55 million shares. There's no basis. I mean, all they're the same thing as this GameStop. You think that GameStop is worth anything? Nobody goes and buys games anymore. AMC, there's nobody in theaters anymore. I mean, I'm looking at Disney. They just came out with some movie. I think it's Dalmatians or something like that. You just sit in your house and you watch it. HBO, same thing. You can watch a movie in your house. So yeah, people do want to go to movie theaters, but I personally don't like. I mean, I know a lot of you guys like going to movie theaters. Paul loves going to movie theaters. I don't. I think they're disgusting. I don't go to movie theaters, but I'm kind of a germaphobe. So AMC is disruptive. AMC serves alcohol, so they're disruptive. Tell Kathy. Anyways, the stock was up 95% yesterday. I have some people in the Bid and Ask Nation. I wrote these down. Reed, he's one of my OGs. He's up 334% on AMC. That's pretty epic. There's another guy, J. Cole, up 577%. Of course, they bought these for fun, not with my method, but whatever. It's pretty funny. AMC is crushing it pre-market. That's what's up. I think AMC doesn't have a solid fundamentals. Can you confirm? I don't think AMC has fundamentals, period. But whatever. Now, let me make this point. I am not saying don't trade this, because you can. I mean, Gianni, I know last week he traded this like 6 times. He was in and out of it on a 15-minute chart. You can absolutely make money on this stuff. Absolutely make money on this stuff. It's just don't think that this is anything that's gonna last. Here, AMC was on the brink of filing bankruptcy earlier this year, and now all of a sudden, what do you think? They just started opening theaters and people are flushing back to theaters, and now they're not on the verge of bankruptcy? They got lucky. That CEO, if I'm that CEO, I'm cashing the F out of everything. That's all I know. As fast as I possibly can. All right. Earnings, guys. Lululemon, Broadcom, CrowdStrike, Slack, Five Below. Those are the big ones. I know some of you guys are trading. Beware of that. Those are reporting today. Another thing that I've seen. Well, of course, every company has fundamentals. It's just, are they good or bad? Activists so Exxon actually lost a 3rd seat. This is incredible. This is just incredible. So they've issued the seat to Alexander Karshner. He's a Google strategist, and I know his name. He's good, but I just didn't think that Exxon would allow. I thought Exxon was too big to be infiltrated, but apparently not. Usually they go after smaller companies, Bed Bath & Beyond, Big Lots, Kohl's, etc. But man, this is another one. Tesla is recalling Model 3 shipped to China. 700 cars. 700 cars in addition to the nearly 600 cars yesterday, and everybody's panicking about it. Oh boy, I remember Ford did a thing last week a couple weeks ago where they issued it was like 300,000 cars, and their stock is nearly probably doubled in price. But YOLO. All right, Apple. This is from MarketWatch. It's a short squeeze. It is a short squeeze. Let's see. Quick trader intelligence test. If you bought a number of AMC, I'm not going to be able to figure out that math. All right. Apple asks employees to return to the office in September. Look how sweet this place is. This is the Apple Park. I would love to go there one day. That place is incredible. I remember when I first saw the concept of this, I was like, there's no way that they can do something like that. Oh, they did it. They certainly did it. All right. After more than a year of working remotely, Apple employees are asked to return to the office at least 3 days a week in early September. So the reason that I'm looking at this story is I'm saying, okay, if Apple is doing this, and there's a couple of other companies that are saying we want you coming back to work, especially teams that need to be more together, maybe they're going to be leading the charge. But on the contrary, there's companies like Google that are saying you don't need to come back to work. Twitter, you don't need to come back to work. So there's on both ends of the spectrum. Apple is asking for Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays with the option of working remotely on Wednesdays and Fridays, and teams that need more personal interaction can work 4 or 5 days a week in the office. I mean, if that was my office, I'd probably want to go there. Apple workers will also be given the option to work remotely for 2 full weeks per year. I think that's just another way of saying you can have a little bit of a lax vacation without any vacation. Did I mention GM yet? I don't know what the GM news is. I know they have a sweet truck coming out or something. Last month, Google said it expects 20% of its workforce to remain fully remote this fall. 60% of them are hybrid. Facebook and Twitter said that employees will be allowed to work permanently from home if the job allows for it. So, yeah, I think we're in the early innings of a commercial real estate decline. Yeah, you know what? I look at the commercial real estate, and this is not my area. I'm just going based on what I would think would happen. I mean, this could be totally off base and totally wrong. So don't quote me or take me to the bank on it. Ask somebody that really knows, like Paul, with real estate. But I keep thinking that if a lot of these companies are going to have people work remotely and whatnot, and they are going to get rid of their buildings, I think these buildings of these massive office spaces are going to be selling for a lot less, and people will go and buy them for a steal, or they're going to drop rents so low that people are going to sign long-term contracts with these lower rents, and all of a sudden these corporations are going to say, listen, we're getting such a good deal here, we want you back in the office. I refuse to believe. I have so many friends that say, yeah, I work from home, I have kids, I have dogs, I have this, I have that, I'm just so productive. I don't believe it for a second. There's no way that you're productive. I don't have anything in my house, and I struggle to not go over and clean the dishes that don't need to be cleaned. I mean, I'm sure some people can do it and focus like laser focus on it, but personally, I don't know. The vast majority, you let me know. How do you feel about working from home? Yes, I know it's very nice, but are you actually getting as much done as you should be? I don't know. All right. Oh, yeah. So Ford, yeah, so let's just go back to the Chevy thing. I don't know the Chevy news, but the Ford came out with the F-150 Lightning. That truck is sick. I actually pre-ordered one yesterday. If they get their mileage up, it's supposed to be 300 miles per charge. If they get the mileage up, I would be happy taking one of those. But 300 mile per charge is very low, in my opinion, especially for a truck. If you want to do any kind of hauling, especially if you want to do any hauling in the winter, yeah, I don't know. Let's see here. Smash that like for me, guys. Let's actually, have you guys seen the Ford truck? Let me pull it up here. Where's my thingy? Let's see. Ford F-150 Lightning. This truck is awesome. There's YouTuber Marquise Brownlee. I do want to see. Oh, actually, there's Marquise right there. But he did a review of this truck, and I do want to look at this thing. Look how awesome that is. And the thing that I like about it is it actually looks like a F-150. They didn't go ahead and do this weird thing where they make it look like a spaceship or something weird like that. So, yeah. All right. Global food prices surged to the highest in nearly a decade, says the UN. And I think this is important because reminiscence of the past. This story gets into it. Global food prices have extended their rallies to the highest level in almost a decade. The UN gauges the world food cost climb for a 12th straight month in May. And, of course, this is putting central banks in a tough place. Neil, yeah, how many? I only have 2 cars, but I ordered a Lightning and a Tesla. I'm only going to get one of them. I'm not going to get both. I'm only one person. Brazilian growing regions is crippling crops from corn to coffee and vegetable oil production. growth has slowed in Southeast Asia. That's boosting costs of livestock for livestock producers. Of course, we have Lilly livestock in here, but this is just the snowball effect that just gets going and going, and everything gets surged. So the surge has stirred memories of 2008 and 2011 when prices spiked and led to food riots in 30 nations. So, yeah, I mean, I look at things and I think about the problems, the things that I complain about here about the Fed and this and that, and these people are having to deal with food riots and not having enough food in these third world countries. So or less developed countries. I don't know if you're allowed to say third world anymore, but yeah, I don't know. I we'll see. I mean, history does have a tendency of having a gleaming similarity. We have very little room for any production shock. We have very little room for any unexpected surge in demand in any country. Well, I think it's coming, unfortunately. The pain could particularly pronounce in some of the poorest import-dependent nations which have limited purchasing power. So when I was living in Aruba, that was the problem there. I mean, I was there right when everything started happening in Venezuela, and boy, I mean, the supermarkets were just like nothing. I mean, you couldn't find anything in these supermarkets with stuff that was coming from Venezuela, and they were heavily dependent on like fruits, vegetables, etc. So, yeah, that was I've seen it. I mean, there was food there. It's Aruba. The United States is going to figure out how to take care of their tourists in Aruba, but man. Okay, that's it for that. Developing country. My bad. Developing country. Can it really be considered a developing country if it's not really developing, though? All right, CNBC. This is actually pretty sweet. United Airlines will buy 15 ultra-fast planes from a startup Boom Supersonic. That's pretty awesome. Thank you, Gary. History doesn't repeat, it rhymes. That's the word that I was looking for. Thank you very much for saying that. All right. United Airlines, this is pretty cool, is planning to turn the friendly skies into ultra-fast skies with the addition of supersonic jets. The carrier announced Thursday it's buying 15 planes from Boom Supersonic with the option to purchase 35 more at some point. And they are expecting service to get going in 2029. And this plane could fly at Mach 1. I don't know what that means, but it basically looks like it cuts travel time in half. So if you go from New York to London, which typically 7 hours, you can get there in 3.5 hours. That's pretty sweet. This Denver-based company has okay, so when we start looking at this, I know it's not EV and stuff, but it just gives me flashes to what the EV market is doing right now. So this is cool. And I was looking at a jet the other day that is half electric, half gas. That thing's pretty awesome. I don't know how much that would cost because I'm sure that the operating costs are very low. But they've raised $270 million in capital and has grown to 150 employees. That's pretty sweet. This came under the announcement that United, after a multi-million-dollar investment in carbon capture startup, has committed to be carbon neutral by 2050. The lobbyists ain't going to like that. But that's that. This is pretty cool. I would like to get places faster. That would be really wonderful. But 2000, what did they say? 2029? Is that what I just said? 2029? 2029. Hey, those of you that know about airplanes, let me know what you think about this. That would be interesting. All right, let's see what the Fed is doing. So the Fed has said that they're going to start winding down the corporate bonds, which they're doing those big purchases every month. They said they would begin the process of winding down the $13.8 billion corporate bond portfolio that it has amassed since the start of COVID-19. They were doing it a little bit before that, but the Fed says the central bank hopes to unload all of its corporate bond ETF and corporate bond holdings by the end of 2021. That's a shock to the system. They're going to say more today, so we're going to see what they're going to say. I think it's probably 2 o'clock. That's usually when they speak. 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock they put out a piece of paper and what you can read about it, and then 2:30, Jerome Powell comes out and the markets have a panic attack and everything shoots all in crazy directions. Then tomorrow morning, it does the exact opposite and gets it back to exactly where it was after everybody calms down. And this happens like twice a month. So as of April 30th of this year, corporate bond ETFs have made up about 8.6 billion of the portfolio, with the remaining 5.2 as individual corporate bonds. That's a lot. This is very dependent on the government. And they're going to announce more details on their process Thursday. The Fed has stopped purchasing assets under the facility on December 31st, 2020. The central bank is currently purchasing 120 billion a month in agency mortgage-backed securities and treasuries. So that is that for what the Fed's going to do. I'm very interested to see what they're going to do today. I do think that we're going to, eventually I think, you guys tell me in the comments, what do you think the interest rates are going to go up? Based on everything that we've talked about, everything that you've read, when do you think that the interest rates are going to go up? Because I personally think that, I think this all hedges on the jobs that come out in June, July, and August. I do think that if those are good and we start getting a absolute surge in jobs, restaurants have to come back, of course, because they're the biggest employer in the country. New restaurants have to be open, etc. That's going to be a big thing that's going to drive jobs. But I do think that if that happens, we're going to get a tick up in interest rates, because I don't think that we want to end up like Japan and sit here and have 0% interest rates and terrible 10-year treasury yields and terrible 3-month yields. Yeah. Oh, you guys do think 2023, you think they're going to keep them up? Interest rates up in October, 3 to 5 years, Q3, October-ish. I agree with Q3. I do not think it's going to be 2023. Yeah. All right. So that's it. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I'm playing in a charity golf outing for a organization called First Tee. It allows kids to play some golf. Teaches that golf is actually a pretty humbling game. So it teaches kids to play golf, teaches them different values in life. I was asked to play in this outing, which we play in every year, and my tee time's at 8:25 tomorrow morning, so I will not be here. But I will definitely be talking about the unemployment number that comes out tomorrow in the Bid and Ask Nation chat with those guys as I'm driving down the first tee. And we're playing a great golf course tomorrow. We're playing Firestone South, which is going to be a lot of fun. All right. So I'm doing the wins and losses for the week this week. Let's do, so you guys can see my beautiful face a little bit more. Hi. So, Reed. My man Reed. Reed's one of the OGs. He played Stitch Fix this week. Stitch Fix is that clothing company that sends you stuff in a box. Made 12%. He was also the one that made 334% on AMC, which is pretty dope. All right. Alfonso plus 20. So Alfonso's pretty new. 20% on UONE day trade yesterday. Kronk plus 1.5% on Eli Lilly. Wilding plus 9% on American Airlines, 12% on Overstock. J. Cole, this is a good one. 577% on AMC. That wasn't credit to me. Okay, here's a good one. J. Cole, J. Rader, I don't know. 53% on Pets. Now, Pets got short squeezed. And he messaged and he's like, what do I do? Guys, if you are in a stock that gets short, this happened to me on, what was that name of that stock? Nokia. I was invested in Nokia by, somebody told me to invest in it. And so I went ahead and bought some shares in it, whatever, because he was obsessed with this 5G stuff. All of a sudden, the stock tanks. I'm down 50% for 2 years or whatever. All of a sudden, GameStop happens, Nokia, BlackBerry, all these AMC starts happening. So I go ahead and I actually, Don, he came into my office one day and he goes, hey, are you seeing what's happening with Nokia? And I'm like, Nokia? I swear I own Nokia. All of a sudden I go and I look and my Nokia has doubled in price. So I immediately exited the position. That's pure luck. With something like this where you're up 53% on Pets, guys, take the money and run. Just take the money and run. like AMC, if you're up 577%, if you have a couple shares, who cares? Let it go. What are you going to, I mean, make a couple dollars. But if you have like a large position in something for reasons other than, like if you're Michael Burry, there's no way that Michael Burry sold GameStop at $400 a share or whatever it went to. I'm sure he sold at $50 or something like that because he wasn't, that's not the reason that he was in it, to get short squeezed. So, and of course, Caesar, our day trading pro. So Caesar, he doesn't know this. Maybe he does. Nobody else knows this, so I'm going to break the news. Caesar is going to become an ambassador in the Bid and Ask Nation. The kid is leading the charge on. The kid is leading the charge on all of the day trading in there, and he's gonna. We're gonna get him going and give him a good status. So he made 10% on Palantir, 7.5% on Royal Caribbean, 4% on Nvidia, and those were all day trades. So Caesar is the man. That's all I have to say about that. All right, guys, give me a couple of stocks, and I will run through a few real quick with you guys, and then we'll get on with that. But before we do that, Bid and Ask Nation, if you want to join it, patreon.com/everythingmoney, $68 a month right now, access to me, videos with me. I had a great conference call with the ambassadors yesterday, and we are going to organize this chat even better and make it more streamlined for you guys. And of course, you get discounts to our merch that comes out in 5,000 subscribers, and 15% off Crossroads businesses, our lighting company, our homes in Mexico. Maybe we have soon a home to come in Turks and Caicos. So that business is growing. Dynasty Owner, which is the fantasy football. So yeah, it's great. All right, let's see here. Palantir. All right, I'll do this Palantir for you. Let's see what Palantir is doing. They're bumping up a little bit. I wonder what's going on here. Is this short squeeze material or is this for real? Let's see. Put this here. You're coming up through the sweet spot. I like that. And of course, you're kind of just running into that 100-day moving average and not doing much. But look at this volume, man. We have up and down and up and down. This is crazy. So, if you're in this for the long haul, God bless you. If I'm you, I'm just trading it right here on a swing trade, and that is all I'm doing with that. So, let's see here. There's Airbnb again. Airbnb always. All right, McDonald's. I like that one. Well, I like the company. I don't know about if I like this. Let's see. Okay, so let's look at a 6 month. So McDonald's is for sure coming through a downtrend right now. But they are, you can just see, if you draw a line right here, you can just see that they're kind of at a support level. And that's funny. I just drew the support line that's actually on the chart. So it's sitting right at its 25-day moving average. It's going to have its 50 to hold. And then it's kind of free fall city. I don't really see free fall city happening with McDonald's unless the whole market turns. But it's, if you're in this short and you want to do something with it, you got to get an engulfing candlestick going down. Then you can move on from there. Do it remote on the course. I could probably do some kind of streaming on the course if I could figure out how. I'm not really one to figure out how to work Discord. I don't know why I just pulled Walmart up. It looked good at the time. AMCX, that sounds like a good one. AMCX. Guys, if you are not in the Bid and Ask Nation, you like all of this, join me. We got the Employed Trader series going this week. We're actually in a stock right now, and it's great. Oh, somebody with the AMCX. Who came up with this? AMCX. Who said this? Oh, Mendy. Makes sense. Mendy's a Bid and Ask Nationer. I like that it's just sitting right on top of that 100-day. Hasn't dropped below it. Nice trend going up. But it's a little bit early. You want to wait for the third day. So if today you get like a third day green, like so, you'll be very happy with that. Don't pay attention to this Bid and Ask difference pre-market. We have a couple of seconds till the market opens. This thing should drop, and we will go from there. All right. I'm not going to do plug. Plug is something that we're watching in the Bid and Ask Nation. Give me one more, and I will do it. And it's not going to be Airbnb. I don't want to do Ford. Come on, guys. Give me a good one. Let's see. Peloton, Chewy. Tilray. What's DKN? What's DKNG? Donkey Kong. DraftKings. I'm just kidding. Let's do GM. I like that one. Miguel coming in hot. Okay, let's see. What happened with GM this morning? Tell me what happened with GM. GM's up 3%. That's odd for a GM on a non-earnings day. They had a sweet spot reversal coming up nicely. And they're overall their major moving averages. I like that. Let's see if this can hold. So this gap happened. So I do expect the stock to price to pull back and come back to this level of, because gaps do fill. And then maybe it can get some kind of pull vault. I don't know what the dizzle is, but we will see. Yeah, CCL, I'll do one more because somebody said 50% rule, so they know something. So if we look at CCL, this is your classic 50%er. And those of you that don't know what a 50% roll is, you have your high, you have your low, and then you have this middle ground. And the stock price just can't bump through. So as the stock price climbs, it gets to a certain point, people say, I'm going to exit my position. It sells right back down. It tries again to get back up there. People take their profits or they lessen their losses and exit. Pops back up. So you can see that this thing just cannot break out of this certain level that it's at. And it's going to take a lot of consistent volume for probably extended months. I mean, they've said that they're back to cruising, and we're still in this situation. So let's see what happens with CCL. I really like that CCL is not at all-time highs like Marriott and all the airlines and this like Southwest. Why are they at all-time highs if they're not doing anything yet? CCL still diluting shares, and nobody's on their cruises, and they're at a reasonable price. I mean, they're still undervalued. So this is the kind of company that you should be looking for to get into long term. I have a big investment in CCL, and I do want to add more to it. So that is that for today. Let's see what the market's doing before I get out of here. Oh, nice. Workhorse is up 35%. Buy the dip, baby. Just kidding. Don't do that. Sarcasm. All right, guys. We're down a little bit. Let's see what the Fed has to say later today. I think they're going to put out a statement. So that will be that. So you guys have a great week. Don't forget, if you're in the Bid and Ask Nation on Friday. Nope, that's wrong. On Saturday, I'm doing a Bid and Ask Nation only Q&A for you guys, 60 to 90 minutes, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Ask me whatever you want. Bring all your questions. And if you're not in the Bid and Ask Nation, join, and you'll get access to me. So, oh, wait a second. This is like my favorite girl. Let's see here. Elizabeth Holmes. So if you guys know the company Theranos, they were the second biggest Ponzi scheme in American history behind Bernie Madoff. But Elizabeth Holmes asked the court to exclude it. So if you've never read the book, Blood, what is it called? Help me with the book name of the book, guys. Blood Feud? Shoot, I can't remember what the name of the book is. But it's about Theranos. If you just Google book about Elizabeth Holmes, it'll come out. One of the best books I've ever read. I've read it multiple times, and I can't remember the title. But Theranos CEO Elizabeth Holmes is asking a federal judge to oversee her criminal fraud case to suppress evidence of her customer complaints, test results, findings from 2016. Yeah, this girl's screwed. That's all I know. All right, guys. You guys have a wonderful day. Join the Bid and Ask Nation. I will not see you tomorrow. Have a great weekend. But I'll see those in the top tier this afternoon, 2 o'clock. See. Bye, bye, bye.